Okay, hopefully that works. So you want to do a product listing, right? Let's see what I have on my back end, and if I have products. Okay.
If you don't, you can do it on Alex.
I have a get all. Perfect.
That works.
Cool. So let's do the old use effects to get our data. Thank you. Let me type in this.
Hey, please record.
Okay, so oh yeah. Okay, don't forget your dependency array, or you'll just get an infinite loop. And then we're also going to need an array. It's going to be use states. Let's see, do I have this type? Ew. Cool, so there's something. So now we need to actually fetch it. So we'll do const response equals awaits API dot get. Gotta import that. And this goes to, what is it? API slash products. I don't remember if I need a slash or not. I'm gonna try that first. Cool, so there's our response. Let's give it what type it's going to be. API response of product get DTO array. Perfect. So now if response dot data. Oh, let me do this fun thing right here. So it's called object destructuring. So what this is going to do is it's going to pull out the data object from the response. So I can just do data. And then I think I can do this to rename it. Response.data. So what this is going to do, let me copy this, put it right here. And then comment this one out. So we see if I hover over response, it's an Axios response, an API response of whatever. If I do this and destructure it, it's just an API response of a product get DTO array. And what this does is response 2. So let's see right here, response 2.data. This is the API response of a product get DTO, and by saying grab the data and call that response, I'm getting the API response out of this variable because I don't care about the actual Axios response. So that's called object destructuring. It's pretty cool, and I just like to rename it because I just like the word response for my API responses. You don't have to, it's up to you, but it looks a little weird if you do data.data, so just be aware of that. So if response dot has errors, what is it? Use notifications? I forget how to do the notifications in here. Show notification, that's what it is. Sorry, I'm used to what we do at work, so it's a little different. Show notification, error fetching products red. Perfect. Then we'll do set products to response.data. Now what I did right here is called an early return. So basically if there's errors, I don't want to continue in the execution of this function because I don't want to try and set the products to nothing. So if there's errors, I just go ahead and break out of the function completely. It's just basically like doing an if-else, but less nesting, so it looks a little better. Okay, so I think that's it. Okay, let's try it. So, probably just do this. Forgot I have my prettier on here, so.
You don't have prettier?
Oh no, for some reason I don't. I do, but like it's not configured properly, and I don't feel like setting it up. Okay, so div, and then I'll do table. T head, table row, and table header. I don't know what I have on a product, so let me see. Name description, that's fine. So this will be name, and then this will be description. Cool, so then T body, I think, is how it goes. And here's where we do the fun stuff. So we do products dot map. But first, before I render the table, I'll do products and I'll just not render the table if there's no products, so I don't have to worry about doing the little question mark. Yeah, kinda. Y'all remember the whole like and thing we went over? Yeah, okay. Thought so. Okay, so I'll take in a single product and then return tr. I don't have auto rename tag either. This is so sad. I know. And this will be product dot name and description. Just catching up. Alright, so that should kind of work. I think. So what's the next step? Anybody can tell me what the next step is? Got the page made. Got to be able to access it. Let's go to the routes. Product listing. Okay, next step. Can anybody tell me? That's right, we go to the config, and then we gotta add, put it right here. Okay. Next step. Gotta have a button for it. Products. Cool. Got a comma. Let's see if it worked. Products. Do I not have any in the database? I have no idea.
Create a new product.
Let's see what happens. 200 response. That's not the right thing. So something doesn't seem to be working properly. Let's try this. There we go. So there's something, but there's also nothing.
Made it to the page.
Yeah. So here's our actual get. Data is nothing, so I guess I don't have any products in the database. So let's create one. It's going to give me a product. Crayons, okay. Cool, it created. There we go. Now, I want this to look a little bit better, so I'm going to put this in a segment, I believe is what it's called. No, what's it called? Container.
Oh, yeah.
I like the container because it pads stuff for you.
Like the drop shot.
No, it just like kind of centers it and like brings it in a little bit. Yeah. Okay, now we'll just do a couple other things. So, with border, striped, just to make it look pretty. Look at that. There's a table. Name and a description. So, now what? What do you want to see now?
How would you like reference something else, like reference another table within that, like payment or not payment or price? Like let's say you have price in another table and you reference it on the products table. So like,
That would just be something you return in your product get DTO. So like if you're saying like a product has like a payment method, you would just bring that in. It'd be like, I don't have that obviously. So it'd be like X price equals X dot payment dot price or something, whatever you want to do.
and
But you would
it'll
just,
show up on the table?
yeah. I mean, if you like map everything properly in your front end, it would. Like if that actually existed and I made a column for that on the table, it would just show up. As long as you like pull in all the stuff you need when you're selecting it to your DTO, you'll have access to that on the front end. What's up?
With daytime offset, trying to do creates and all that kind of stuff, do we have to return it as like a 2-string from the back end to the front end before
So
bring it after?
the best practice is to only ever have your server deal in UTC time. So your server should only ever get things in not local time.
Okay.
Otherwise, your server has to worry about where the request came from and then figure out how to format that itself.
Okay.
Versus if your front end always sends up UTC and always gets UTC, the front end can handle how to convert that into wherever the user's local time zone is. Because the actual device they're looking at it on will know where they are. It has like their IP, all that stuff. So it can format that in whatever, however they want it displayed. But your server will never have to actually worry about, oh, this came from, I don't know, Arizona where they're not observing daylight savings time. So now I have to worry about like not converting it.
Okay.
So yeah, always let your front end deal with the displaying and messing with time.
So like, I'm sorry. So it would, like, you can make it where it doesn't show like the seconds and milliseconds.
Yeah, you can make it do whatever you want.
Okay.
Does Mantine have a date thing built in?
Great question.
Let's see. Mantine dates, date provider. So I don't think they do. They have like inputs, but I don't see anything for converting time. But they have Day.js built in, it looks like. See, with calendar for rendering makes sense, whatever. I wonder if we have Day.js. We do. Okay, so let's go look at their documentation. So you always want to use a date library for converting dates. You never want to mess with it yourself because it's too complicated. Let somebody else deal with that. So in Mantine's case, they use Day.js because it's not deprecated like some other ones. So let's see, display. Format. Cool. So you can do it in whatever format you want. So basically what you do is you call this function, so like dayjs.format. You can give it 4 capital L's and it'll put it in like Thursday, August 16th, 2018 at 8:02 p.m. or whatever you want it to be. So date libraries handle that for you. You can also do like time from now, so it's like that was a few seconds ago, a minute ago, whatever. Yeah. What other questions y'all have?
So, how do we get to that product listing page from the main page? Like, you can just link it up to the top.
Well, you put it.
Yeah. So you
Yeah, are we allowed? Will we be able to move that, or?
can put it wherever you want. It's easiest to put it in the navigation, but you can also make this like a drop down. So if we do products and then we do instead of nav, we can do like children. Okay, and then we do another one. Actually, I only need this part. So if you want it to be like a drop down, you can just nest them, and then when you do that, it makes a drop down for you. And you can go to listing or the create page, whatever you want it to be. So,
How do you edit a product?
great question. I was hoping somebody would ask that.
It's almost like I've taken this class.
Wow.
13 times.
So if you haven't watched the video on it, there's a really easy way to edit stuff. Okay, so we'll do an empty header. And, oh man, I really need that.
You do a tag.
I'm installing an extension called Auto Rename Tag
This looks like a Steam workshop.
and Auto Complete Tag.
Why don't you have settings sync turned on?
Because I haven't signed into my GitHub on this computer. Yeah, I know.
I got your permission. You want it?
So this is what, thank you.
We share.
Very securely through a password change. Yeah, we definitely don't just send it in plain text on Slack.
Yeah. But it's literally just to have our settings the same.
Yeah, I made a whole GitHub account just to sync settings. So this really cool extension, well, if I change the first tag, like if I change this one from tbody to a div, it'll change the corresponding end tag. Just less thought I have to put into writing code. Alright, so how did I do it in the video? I don't remember. Font awesome icon.
Right.
Do what?
That was just semantics.
No, I made videos. Icon equals FA pencil. Yeah, we'll do pencil. And then on click equals. I gotta finish that later because I gotta make a page. So we'll make a quick update page. New. Wow, that's recorded. Gonna get age restricted on YouTube now.
Canadian keyboard, man.
This isn't a Canadian one.
No,
No, this is the one that I stole from Brandon.
you bought
Yeah, borrowed. Okay, so fun fact, the create and update are always very, very similar. So I don't know why I didn't do this to begin with, but I'm just going to copy that. Call that update. And then I'll do a put. I don't think I have an update endpoint though, so that's not going to actually work, but it works for it being a page. So yeah, if you're ever confused on how to make your update page, it's basically your create page with an ID. So, you know. Now the only other thing we got to do is actually get the ID from the route, which I did in the video, but I forgot how to do it.
This
It's not the same use params though.
I use I forget the name of it. It used to be different in router like 5.
It might be. Okay, no, it's real.
Yeah, use params exist. I don't know if it works the same way.
Chaotic there.
I know. So that might work. We'll see. Prettier. Alright, IDs use params. That'll probably be good enough for showing. Okay, so then we'll go make a route. And this will be product update. This part is very important. Do a :ID because it's just the way you do it. Definitely not just personal preference. It's the only way you can possibly do it. Okay, so we'll go to config. I'm going to put this after the create page. Okay, so we have a page, we have all that stuff. Good, good, good. Go back here. What did I do? Oh, nothing good. Okay. And so now on click we'll do, oh man, it's navigate, I think. I hate when they change stuff.
It makes more sense in history to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you think of like history works as a stack, it makes more sense to do history.push because you're pushing to the stack. But
Well, that's fine.
all right, so then we do routes dot product update dot place :ID with product dot ID dot toString. I know it's very ugly. Oh my god. Good enough. So there we go. So all we're doing is writing another column at the front that's just a pencil, and when you click it, it goes to the update page with the ID in the route. So we'll go here. When I click it, you kind of see right here, there's a 1 up there because it's product ID 1. Make sense? Cool. I don't feel like making all the endpoints to get by ID and updates. I'm not going to, but
Trash.
I know. There's a video on it, so you know, good enough. Now I do want to see if this works. Let's just see. Okay, cool. Let's just throw ID in there. Oh yeah, it did work. There's one right there. Look at that. So yeah, use params and you do the object destruction. You can pull out ID from the params. You know, fun stuff. More questions. What do y'all got? Fun thing to do is also not to have your product create live in this drop down, but like a button up here somewhere that's like add new or whatever. Personal preference.
Like a single products page that you get all the other products pages from.
Yeah, super easy to do also. If we go to our listing page, right before the table, we can just do button. And this will be create. You can make it pretty with like an icon and all that stuff if you want, but you don't have to. On click equals navigate, no. Let's start product create. This is going to be on the wrong side from where I like it, but click that and it goes to your create page. That way you don't need to have a drop down for listing and create. You just go click on products and it's cool, create and update are all in one place. Yay. Also recommend giving your icon for like updating some CSS. So we'll do const use styles equals create styles. Turn, I think, right? So this will be pointer. Cursor is
Mouse grab.
I do that one every time. I don't know why.
pointer. There we go. I saw crosshair.
Those are fun ones.
All right. So what we do? Font awesome icon, and then actually, sorry. First thing, const classes equals use styles. Good enough. And then we go down here to our font awesome icon, and we do class name classes.pointer. Now, whenever we go hover over this in a second, it indicates that you can click on it. You can see the cursor changing. Cool. I want to see what crosshair looks like. What's your question?
So I don't know how far like a side, and when you want to scroll down the page, this nav bar doesn't scroll.
I have the nav bar on the side. I mean, yeah, so like it's you can. It depends on how you make it.
I'm how would you keep that static?
So there's a
Exactly.
do it.
Static.
Well, there's a couple ways to do it. My preferred way is not static. It's to you give the so if we break everything down into a div, right? You'd have like two divs on each side and one div in the middle that is like your content div, and you allow that one to overflow with like the scroll on it, and the other two don't get any overflow at all. So whenever you scroll, you're only scrolling on the inside div, and that'll move that one, but it won't move anything on the outside, which I'm pretty sure is how this one's made.
Basically,
Is
the same
the-
concept.
The header up there stays constant. I'm pretty sure. I forget how I made it, but it should stay there whenever you scroll through the page. Any other questions? What's up?
So if we wanted to create a front end for like access to like creating new products or
Great question. How would you not do that? How would you let them not do that, right?
yeah, like how would you differentiate between a user that has added? Okay.
So you see how there's like a
Yeah,
no create now?
yeah.
I mean, the button's still there, but
Yeah.
doesn't show up anymore. But you'd send up like some information about the user of like their role. You can do it as like a string if you want of like admin or user. And then the hide would be like user dot. If the role doesn't equal admin or something like that, then it would hide it.
Okay. So we would have to change that as something in our backend for.
Yeah, but I wouldn't necessarily worry about it until you get to the very end. So,
Off topic question. How do you put like a picture? Like so, like maybe you want like the picture.
wait. I heard two different questions. How do you make a picture as a background, or how do you upload a picture?
Like generally, how do you get a picture on your website?
To show, like, you want to render a picture on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. I heard three different questions now, so I was making sure. So, nah. So we'll just do it on the. Yeah, we'll do it on the product listing, and we'll just go like right here. Alright, let's import
Can
that.
you just use the URL to upload instead of like having to?
Yes.
Which is actually,
What happens if that URL, if something changes that URL? You don't have a picture anymore. Okay.
That's what the alt tag is for. So let's say this says
Everybody gonna have a picture somewhere of that.
Granny with a gun, and then I change this, and it's like it's wrong. It just shows Granny with a gun. So yeah, this is the best way to show images. You don't want to store images in your database. It's too much work, not worth it. What you want to do is the user can upload an image and you just send that in production. You would send that to somewhere else that stores images for you, and that other place gives you back a URL to where that image is stored. And then all you got to do is you save that URL, and when you want to show the image, you're like, cool, here's the URL that they said that image was at. And it will always be there as long as you pay for the service.
Okay, so we don't have to do anything in the backend?
You're storing the string pretty much.
Yeah, you're storing a string. So you'll upload it to Imgur manually and then just paste that URL into like a text field.
Sure. You can just do it with the description. You don't have to make it in field.
That's true. That is true. So let's get to our create page. Our description will be an image, and this will be Granny. So we'll create that.
so this is just showing that all he's doing is copying an image URL, storing it as a string in his database, and then whenever it goes to show description, aka like the product image, he's going to render an image tag with description as the source.
Golly.
It's so quick.
There you go.
Let's see if this works. And look, since the crayons doesn't have like the description isn't a URL, it just shows the alt of Granny with a gun. So there you go. All you gotta store is a URL. Which is why I told you all to make your like images as like a string instead of an invar binary like what's his name said, Asif. He's actually talking about storing images, he's right, but we don't store images here. We let other people do the work for us.
I did that in 285, but it took me like a month. Like,
Yeah, and then you gotta worry about if they upload like a corrupted image of like if it's a image or a text file, like a text file, and they change the extension to a JPEG. Like they can upload it, but then it's like it's not an image; it's a text file. So
They just start uploading code.
yeah, it's not worth it.
Starts executing. Yeah, that's great.
What's up?
I should maybe figure out, like, from the website.
Oh man,
Like, download them.
I'm really what?
A game.
I did,
just store a link to Dropbox.
that's what I did in 383. Is I uploaded it to Google Drive and I just like
You read
Google like, hey, how do you automatically download a link from Google Drive? Like that, and you put something on the URL that the Google Drive thing is, and it just downloads a little text file.
Also, just don't actually store games and have them download games.
Keys.
Yeah,
Exactly.
store a product key, and then go redeem it on Steam or wherever.
So I was thinking of getting like that D2 like 50.
Yeah, exactly.
50 game things for like $2.
Yeah, just store a bunch of keys. You don't have to worry about storing the actual like game files. Any other questions? What's up?
You're logged in as a user right now, right?
I'm logged in as an admin, which is the only type of user we have. So yeah.
How would you get the user ID from?
Good question. So on our product listing page, let's do const user equals use user. And let's import this. And
You have no idea how hard this actually is. So Zach made it for you.
Thank you.
you're welcome. So there you go. There's all the information about the user. ID 1, first name seated, last name user, username's admin. Const user equals use user. What else?
I like that the videos just evolve. Like,
Yeah.
using images and descriptions and like.
Yeah, they go south really quickly. Is that all the questions we got?
I think we can run with that.
Hope so. At least you can walk. I mean, you can't run with it, just walk with it. Maybe crawl, in worst case. Okay. If there's no questions, that's all I really had. You can leave.